sometimes obviously you cannot always enjoy what you're doing, right? So it's like reading books. Probably you would be much better doing when you will read books rather than not reading them. But it's kind of sometimes hard to read them because you just don't want to, right? Or you don't want to eat healthy. So sometimes you need like to tell yourself to do this thing, even if you don't like it, and until you will.
Hello everyone and welcome to Newforum episodes. Newforum brings together leaders, creators, new starters and new perspectives on crypto, the metaverse, NFTs, social 3 and DAOs.
Today's episode focuses on one of our super awesome team member, Yev. He's a passionate engineer and we can't wait to hear more about him. Hello, Yev. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
So Yev, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what did inspire you to work at Newcoin Foundation?
Yeah, sure. It's actually a long road. I met Sofian way before the Newcoin Foundation. We started to do the first version of New Life mobile application, and actually why we connected on the beginning is because we had similar interests in culture and in the foundation that it brings to the people. Like culture is somehow a software for people, and it's a really powerful tool. So yeah, we were having a long road before was the first Newlife.ai app, and we had a little success. And after that, there was like, we saw an opportunity to leverage the blockchain technology, and especially because it has an actual use case for this project, like transparency and equal redistribution of resources. So yeah, and right now
you were one of the first members kind of like of the community, and like when you met Sofian.
Yeah, there were also, yeah, it can be said like
pretty
that.
much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that you mentioned that it seems like you guys have similar values, and that sort of connected you two together, and that's really great. I'm interested to know, so what's important to you at the moment? It could be related to work, it could be personal, it doesn't matter. We'll just be interested to hear that.
Oh, I would guess the most important thing is curation or self-agency, I would say, like really living in a, like having a peaceful experience and really like consciously striving for that. I would say like that's the most important thing to that is like, it's more on a personal level.
So you're kind of like, besides work, that's your heavy focus is like balancing like your real life experiences and your overall experience as in living. That's how I understood it now. And so maybe relating to work, like what motivates you to do your work, or like what is your favorite part about your work?
I was thinking about this, and actually I think that people motivate me the most, like whom I'm working. Like I derive a lot of inspiration from Sofian, like during and like from all other team members, but like Madeleine and you guys, like from everybody who is working on this project, because everybody is bringing something really unique, and it brings unique people to this. So there's certainly something that is connecting people with similar, like I would say even like consciousness, that have similar set of values, and it can be really felt. So even like I would say that people who are investing in this, should really like understand what's going on. Like it's probably a magnificent experience to have this.
Yeah, I love how you explained that, because when we have our team calls, it just feels like we have so many layers to discuss things, like, you know, the app and curation, but also each part of the team brings together like a unique piece. I really like that, what you said.
Yeah, we definitely have an amazing team, and it's so diverse, and we work so well together, and we're working mostly remotely, but then somehow we still get the work done, and it's super awesome. So that's really great. I'm wondering what impact you would like to make with your work, because it's, you know, you speak a lot about values, you know, care, consciousness. So maybe in regards to that, what sort of impact would you like to make with your work? It could be within the workspace or in the world at large. Like, any thoughts on that would be great.
Yeah, this is also quite an interesting question, because I would say a lot of people, they are doing something with the really best intents, but then like the tool that they can create can really like it doesn't have, like, it's neutral, and people are giving basically a morality to it, so they can use the tool for bad and good things. So I just hope that people would actually realize and have the awareness of the tool that we are bringing actually can make their life more easy, or that can bring value to them. And yeah, I would say this is the main point.
Also regarding, you know, we discuss a lot about social media, you know, in the team, we talk about things that we see in the social media space because of our app and everything. What do you think about current social media platforms? Like, what do you think about that space? Do you see any maybe negative or positive sides, or how do you embrace that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually can be connected to the previous one, where people were building things. They're probably thinking that they are doing like they're developing tools for the better of the humanity. Like the purpose of social media is to connect people, but actually social media can disconnect people as well. To have to clash people's opposing views, and like the censorship of the and like there can be a lot of like different stuff, bad stuff also going on in the social media, which people just were not aware when they were building this on the beginning, that they can like bring so much mess into the like it brought like a lot of, it accelerated basically a lot of things. So it accelerated the good and the bad as well. So I would say social media definitely needs rewiring from the previous stage, and people are sensing this. Like people are starting to be aware of the algorithms, like how they're working, and what actually is the main metric for the people behind those algorithms, who are they designing, what they are striving for. Like they are just want you to have more screen time. And yeah, so that's basically one of the sides of the social media that can be improved. And like a lot of actually, like, yeah, this is one of the things why people loved our app on the first place, the first version of New Life, because it was a raw, it was a little bit even wild, and people like that. Like it had a lot of authenticity. And like the creators were connecting with this. So this is why I guess it had such an amazing initial success. And we kind of tapped into this domain of how to build an amazing next gen social media app, which can actually connect more people and will really leverage the best of the people and their creativity.
That's really incredible. You know, it's like all these amazing tools can be made accessible to us or to the users, to the society, to the communities. But then the issue of the unintended consequences, right, is something that we will never know, right? And so I think with everything, just finding the balance and, you know, yeah. So
like you said about our app, I feel the same way when we use the app. I feel like you can really put your authentic work out, and it's more like a social media space within the beginning and with its purity kind of, and that's something I also really enjoy about the app.
Yeah, and it's like it's focused on creativity and just like the value and the content, everything is just focused on the creativity, the innovation of the person, and not just, you know, just hype, you know, the shallow hype and all that stuff. So it's really incredible. So, you know, we're in the crypto space, you know, and I'm curious to know what attracted you to it, and how you would describe NFT and the potential obstacles, since we're talking about unintended consequences. Like, what obstacles do you perceive happening in the future or right now?
Yeah, I can say from a more geeky perspective that blockchain is just an interesting piece of technology. Like, it's literally a distributed database with a consensus mechanism, and like it's just weird from a computer science perspective how the problem of double spending was solved, and it obviously inspired like a lot of people in the world when Satoshi published the white paper, and then like the first really big massive recognition of Bitcoin in 2017. Like this is probably when I started to kind of study more those things and to dive in. Yeah, and then there was this amazing idea to kind of replace to store code on the, like to execute code via a virtual machine as well, like Ethereum, which are called smart contracts, and that enabled actually to deploy distributed code. So it's just really curiosity, I would say, right? And like you don't know what you actually don't know, so maybe it's something big because you cannot really evaluate what this thing is. Like, it's kind of the first internet bubble where people were just buying like random.com websites and putting like some simple HTML website, and they were raising like millions out of this, and they were not knowing what they are doing. Yeah, so you can see like the same pattern here. It's like a pattern of exploration where a lot of people are going into the wild. They are going into the hunt and they want to catch something, but they still don't know what they are catching. So they're just doing a lot of random guesses, and somebody will like eventually will figure that thing out. And I'm like not so much like really knowledgeable about the use of blockchain itself. I just trust like the people around me who are like who spend more time on this. Like, I have basic understanding of all of those things, like from an engineering perspective. And regards the NFTs, I think it applies the same, that they can it's still explored. Like, it's still like people don't really know like what to do with them. A lot of claims are being made, and like I'm just really curious to see how Newlife will utilize the concept of NFTs. And like really we are always trying to design things like not for the hype, but actually to put like conscious design that it will have actually a practical use. Like on the 2017 coffee company was putting blockchain after it, and like the stock price was pumping, and this is actually crazy. And we are we are trying really to design things from more like really pragmatic perspective.
I like that. You also touched a bit on code. So for me and maybe the audience, it's interesting, like, when did you first got into code, or how did you got interested about like learning how to code?
Yeah, that's when I was 4, probably my dad bought the first computer, and like sometimes we would play some old games together. So it was like a wholesome time. And then at some point I was trying to again, like curiosity, like how those things are working. So there was not good internet back in the days, so you would need to go through the telephone line to connect to the internet. Like I'm such a boomer about this. And he would download like some book on assembly and on Pascal. Like assembly was super hardcore for a kid, and I would like read those unknown words and just trying to figure out how the thing is working. And then like progressively I was reading those books, and like I was really like driven by curiosity, like writing some like some simple computer games in the beginning. Like I don't know, like everybody was starting from tic-tac-toe or 3 in row, or like battleships, you know, like all types of games. And it was really like interesting. And then like it's just Naval Ravikant was saying follow your passion. Like a lot of people actually saying follow your passion and curiosity, and it will eventually show you the way, because you kind of like the biggest leverage that you can do in your life is the love of what you're doing and with whom you are doing. So what for others it looks like work, for you it is play. So it's just a shift of perspective, and you have an amazing opportunity to basically capitalize on this. And in terms of like not monetary, but really to have a more fulfilling experience.
Right.
I love that. Yeah.
Like the joy that comes with it. You know, it's funny, I was reading a book that was sort of speaking against like following the passion, but mostly like focusing on building the skill set, because once you have the skill set, then you can enjoy the work you do. I'm actually curious, since you grew up you know, doing this with your father, you know, your father like was so supportive, and you sort of had this upbringing, like this foundation from the beginning until now. Would you say that knowing how to do it very well makes you enjoy it and gives you the passion, or vice versa? Like an honest answer would be really great. What do you think?
You know, sometimes obviously you cannot always enjoy what you're doing, right? So it's like reading books. Probably you would be much better doing when you will read books rather than not reading them. But it's kind of sometimes hard to read them because you just don't want to, right? Or you don't want to eat healthy. So sometimes you need like to tell yourself to do this thing, even if you don't like it, until you will, and really to understand the long-term benefit of this.
Right.
And well, you will have times when you will enjoy this thing, doing the main thing. Sometimes you will just feel down, and I think that's okay. But essentially, you just need to remember like why you're doing this, and it's really like just a commitment. Like we are all investors. We are investing with our attention, with our time, and like in everything that we are doing. So invest wisely.
Yeah, there's definitely like a discipline into, you know, learning a skill and then also making it your career and all these things. And I love about our team that we have so much room to grow. Like, you know, everyone has like a certain skill set, but we can also like learn and educate each other. I think that's really valuable within our community and team. let me ask you the question, where do you see yourself in like, I don't know, 2 years? Like maybe what do you want to learn, or like is there something where you would see yourself in 2 years from now?
Yeah, I would like to really naturally follow the stream of curiosity that I have, and right now it's telling me to dig more into the blockchain side of things, and I really like to inspect the fundamentals of things, not like just to read the basic documentation. So for example, to inspect the source code of Bitcoin, like to compile it on your own, to tweak it a little bit, like basically to hack around those things, and trying to understand more like those fundamentals, and maybe learn a little bit about cryptography as well, because I think it's a really interesting topic to explore. Well, it's a little bit hardcore as well, because you need to know a lot of mathematics. So this kind of, yeah.
Well, that's a good answer, a good estimate of like what you want to get into. And yeah, I think it's good to educate yourself and the things that you're interested in, follow your, like you said, your stream of curiosity.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, since you touched on blockchain technology, I'm sure our audience would love to know what you think about like what this blockchain technology and smart contracts bring to the internet space.
Yeah, I think that blockchain technologies can have a great use case in the transparency of voting and in decision making. So that would be really nice to adopt more and more companies and platforms to make people decisions on a different scale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actually sure if the whole like internet will be moved to blockchains. Like it's quite speculative topic. I think that if you're talking about Web 3.0, I truly believe in also another approach where people will self-host their services and in peer-to-peer networks. Like where people will actually own their hardware, and they can deploy their website or their content on this hardware that is actually running at their home. And I think that's true ownership instead of like it's just a different approach of things. Like it requires basically some basic education from people. Like before, not everybody was knew how to use a computer, or but right now everybody has a computer basically in their pocket, and everybody knows how to use a smartphone. So it would be truly amazing for somebody to onboard people so that they will have a like philosophical understanding, like why they need to have this, like why to use for example a blockchain that is much slower and more expensive, why they should care about privacy, or why owning your hardware or self-hosted server gives actually you more freedom. Because like if in the real world you cannot answer those questions, like why do you need human rights, or why do you need a law system, then like it's hard basically to to cope with this.
Right. So the why is important, and the how is very important. So that's sort of generally what I'm getting.
Education as well.
And education as well, yes.
Okay, to end things off, I have a little bit of a fun question. If you could be an animal, what would you be and why?
Okay. I was thinking of like when Salome wrote me this question, I was thinking like this is a cheesy question, like really. It's just
okay.
Like
if you don't come up with anything, then we.
But I think
okay.
I think it's fun to say it, because you could say some animal, but then it can connect to, because it sounds like you're self-motivated, you're passionate, and then like what kind of animal is like that, you know? I think it's just fun because it loosens up everything, because everything is so like serious on blockchain and all of that. It just kind of helps people to see that we're people, we're like, you know, real and flexible. But yeah,
you can choose the question, describe yourself
Yeah.
in 3 words, or the animal
You know,
one.
like
choose one. Yeah, choose one.
you know, like this kind of street psychological test when you are basically asked name 3 animals with whom you associate, and like you are naming like 3 animals, and then like the person is saying, okay, so the first animal is what do you want to be perceived by other people, the second animal is how do you see yourself, and the first animal is actually who you are, you know.
I see. Okay, this was just supposed to be fun. It was just one animal.
I would be probably a bird to see everything from a bird's eye view, like, and it's also associated with freedom, which I really value. And yeah, like it would
A
be
bird is a pretty
amazing.
good one, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's incredible. I think, you know, bird's eye view, it's like, imagine, like, you know, you definitely have such an engineer mindset, because when you're up there, you can see everything, the grid, the, you know, the different colors and different perspectives. So thank you so much, Yev, for joining us today. Yeah, you're incredible. And yeah, we're so happy to have you. Thank you.
See you guys in the next episode. Thank you, Yev.